world to work in concert and to create a truly global response, which must happen. We have to get past the historic divide that has existed for a long time, but has been a particular problem since the end of World War II. And that is the divide between North and South, between rich and poor, between developed and developing. The population growth and the growth in emissions, the growth in economic development is in the poor countries. If the wealthy countries do not link these goals, then we put the poor countries in a position of saying, hey, wait a minute. You have already industrialized. You are the ones that created this climate crisis. Now you're going to tell us that we don't have any chance to reach our aspirations? And the answer is for the wealthy countries to say, of course you do. We're going to join hands with you, sharing the technologies that make it possible to leapfrog the old dirty ways. We are all in this together. And by the way, that's the best way to protect the forests and to restore carbon in the soils, which is so important for fertility and for farming and subsistence agriculture. Only by having a truly global approach can we do this. And a global approach means that the wealthy countries say it is no longer acceptable to have in one part of the world these very high income levels where the problems are obesity and overconsumption and the diseases of too much wealth and too much consumption, where in the rest of the world there are still tens of thousands of children under the age of 5 dying unnecessarily every 24 hours, where people are struggling in poverty, where too many people are hungry, where 2 billion people live on less than the equivalent of $1 per day. It's not fair, it's not just, it's not right, and it has to be addressed in order to have a truly global strategy to chart a sustainable future.
I really wish you'd say what you feel, you know? It's a very potent message, but there's a lot of things that have been happening. I mean, the abuse of environmental resources is something that the Millennium Summit has just committed itself to. And I just want to know, how do you feel countries are doing with regard to that? And which countries do you feel are lagging and did not reach the goal of fixing up what they've done that was wrong with regards to the environment?
Well, let me see if I can think of one. Maybe the United States of America would be at the top of the list. But I meant to say, before my speech scattered across the stage, that the United States of America has the primary obligation to provide leadership. The United States and Canada together have an ability to lead the world. My country is still looked to, even after all that has happened in the last decade, it is still looked to around the world. I think, forgive me if this is false pride as a U.S. citizen, but I think many around the world still look to the U.S. as the nation with the best chance to stand up and provide moral leadership and to rally nations around the world. And the fact that we have not done that yet is the principal reason why Copenhagen did not succeed in the way that we hoped it would. But I bring you good news. On Monday next week, legislation will be presented in the United States Senate. I was speaking with the sponsors again just last night. That will give us a good chance of the Senate passing legislation this year. The other part of our Congress, the House of Representatives, has already passed legislation. And while it's not perfect, it does move us very powerfully in the right direction. It's going to be a struggle. Some of the large carbon polluters have been blocking the pathway. And it's a complicated issue, of course, but the forces of conscience are rallying. And I think we have a good chance this year to pass legislation. President Obama has brought about a much-needed change in policy and direction and focus. So the United States, I understand, has the number one obligation. And I would say the United States and Canada together can make all the difference.
President Gore, you mentioned the forum that took place in Copenhagen, which obviously you attended, and I was wondering, you said it wasn't successful. Was it not successful because all voices weren't heard? Why exactly did you feel it wasn't as successful as it could have been?
Well, I think there were many factors, but if I had to isolate one, it would be the one that I mentioned a moment ago. Prior to Copenhagen last December, many of us had hoped and expected that the Senate would pass legislation last year. China had sent word through private channels to the U.S. that if the U.S. passed a law requiring a reduction of emissions below the 1990 levels, then China would lean forward and help to get a meaningful binding treaty. But the Senate failed to act. And so President Obama was forced to go to Copenhagen without anything to put on the table other than pledges and good words, and that counts for something. But after the history of the Kyoto Agreement, where so many other nations ratified it and the United States refused to, the rest of the world rightly was insisting that the United States actually take steps to make these requirements legally binding. And when the Senate failed, then China balked, and the rest of it unraveled to the point where they got a politically binding agreement, but no more. And there was some progress, but not nearly enough to call it a success. But now it is up to us. And I do want to say to all of you, I don't really have the ability as a speaker or have the words at my disposal to communicate what I really want to communicate. But I hope you can feel it. I would like truly to communicate from my heart to yours that this is the moral challenge of our time. And it is up to us. Margaret Mead, you've heard this quote perhaps, once said, "Never doubt the ability of a small group of people to change the world. Indeed, that is the only way the world has ever been changed." Those of you here with the passion and commitment and caring and understanding of why this is so important can change the world. I'm not trying to just give you words. I'm trying to give you the passion that I think is appropriate to this moment in history when so much depends